What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm C.
I'm P.
And today we're gonna be reacting to another one of Dr. Phil videos on Matt Walsh and Dr. Phil about transgenderism. This one is called Professor asks Walsh why he cares so much about transgenderism. Instantly regrets it. I guess we'll find out why
Why he instantly regrets it.
I think why
she
regrets it.
I don't know. I don't know what she.
Let's find out.
Identify as. There we go. I couldn't think.
Don't be a bigot, okay?
Oh my God. Sorry.
She.
My bad.
Let's begin.
There's the extreme approach that you are admittedly taking. And then there's also just ordinary people that might not be comfortable with the language change. And it just is awkward. And so they're afraid of not being courteous or being accepting. So there's like these two things. There's actually combating and not being, you don't like transgender, the idea of transgender. That's different than pronouns. But then just for most people, it's just feeling a little bit awkward and unsure and not wanting to hurt or offend somebody.
Well, why is it important for educators to teach about gender identity, gender presentation, and pronouns? Why do you think that's important?
Because there is a difference. There is biological sex, and a lot of times people are conflating sex and gender. So there's biological sex, and then there's gender, and that's a social construct in the sense that just because you're born biologically a female doesn't mean you automatically want to vacuum, for instance, which is usually a...
Oh my God. What was that example?
What does that have to do
What's
with
vacuum? Oh my God. You don't like him to vacuum?
I don't like to vacuum. I do it, but I don't like it. Does that mean I'm not a woman?
Jesus Christ, vacuum. Wow. I can't believe that's the one thing she uses. I get it's to do a narrative that, men expect women to like clean and vacuum and stuff like
I thought
that.
we were past all this.
But it's like saying that like that's that's what a woman is supposed to
do.
I feel like she's being sexist in a point. You know what I mean? By saying that, like, because she's a female, she just has to vacuum. I don't know. Whatever. Let's continue.
Biologically a female doesn't mean you automatically want to vacuum, for instance, which is usually a feminine activity or conflated that way. And so it's this idea of giving children in age-appropriate ways an understanding that these things aren't set in stone. Gender identity is not tied to biology.
You say that gender's not set in stone.
It's not.
What do you mean?
I mean that's just factually incorrect, saying that. So you have biology is the chromosomal makeup and reproductive organs and all of that. And so that would be sort of the nature side of things. But the nurture side of things is where we see more of gender identities.
She began by saying that my view is extreme. Okay, so the view that every single person on Earth has held up until 15 seconds ago is extreme. And the view that almost everyone does right now still hold is extreme, apparently, according to her. But there is this they are conflating gender and sex because on one hand they say, well, you got your biological sex, but then your gender is whatever social construct. But then they turn around and say that trans women are women. So a man who identifies with the gender, the social construct of womanhood, actually is a woman. So if you can laugh all you want, but this is a logical problem. You are conflating sex and gender just by saying that. So that's the problem.
There's biological sex, and then there is gender identity. Part of me wants to ask why you care so much, because it's really not that big of a deal.
Oh, yeah, can I answer that? I'd love to answer that question. I care about the truth. So basic truth matters. I want to live in a society where people care about the truth and we're grounded in truth. Right. I care about children, and these insane ideas about gender are being foisted on kids, and that bothers me quite a bit. I care about the women who are having their opportunities stolen from them. I care quite a bit, yeah.
You are a champion for...
Okay, two things that I want to... There's two questions that was raised there, right? The first thing... There we go. The first one was the conflating between sex and gender thing. Jesus. There you go. I feel like in order for the activist point to be made, they have to define, like they have to go out of the way to separate sex and gender. But the way they're talking, they're not separating sex and gender. They're saying sex is biological and gender is social construct. Okay, I'll give you that, whatever.
But then they
But
contradict themselves
yeah,
by
'cause
saying that
that way,
Trans
that
men
trans
is
men
ju-
is
trans
women,
is
trans
women,
women is women, right?
yeah.
But then where is the separation between sex and gender there? You know what I mean? So you have to separate them. You can just say it's different and then not separate them
It's what-
when you're talking about it. You know what I mean?
It's funny.
But the way they talk, they don't talk like do two different things. They talk like it's the same thing. So I think that's where the confusion comes in.
Yes.
And the other thing about the school kids and stuff, it's like about why does it care so much? And it's like I care about the truth because if you start saying words don't have meaning, words can be anything you want, then where's the truth in that?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like an opinion. Then there's no truth.
Mm-hmm.
And without truth, what do we have?
Who was it? I think somebody we were talking to or a video we watched, I can't remember which, stated that with the children thing, that you're teaching these kids these things at such a young age when their mind is so like spongeable, you know what I mean? And you're putting these thoughts in their head, and that the second that they pick up a Barbie doll but they're a guy, oh, you want to be identified as a woman? Okay, we'll go through the whole process right now. You don't realize that they're just kids. Like, when I was a little girl, I hated wearing dresses. I always wore my hair in a ponytail. Makeup was not on my mind. I was with the boys playing around in the mud up until I was like in middle school.
You know what I
Does
mean?
that mean that I'm a boy?
Yep. It means that you were supposed to be a
That
boy.
I was supposed to be a boy?
Yep.
So if my parents brainwashed that into my head, they would have made me into a boy, and then I would have been in middle school being like, this is not what I wanted, or in high school, like, this is not what I am. And my whole body's already messed up because you put all this shit into me. Like, we don't know who we are at that young of an age.
Yeah, and when
There's no way for you to know. We still don't know who we are at this age. 20, 30 years old, there's a lot of us that still have no clue who we want to be as a person. You know what I mean?
I feel like when they're that young, like you said, there's a sponge. When you start teaching them about different genders and this and that, they're gonna want to experiment. They're gonna be like, okay, so I want to be this.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I want to be that.
It's like
I mean,
imaginary to them.
And then exactly, and then you making them, and then you adults are making it seem like, oh my god, she thinks she's a woman. Let's go do the whole procedure and hormone therapy and stuff, but not to realize it's just kids. They're experimenting.
And I'm not sitting here
Thing,
saying
make-believe.
if your son picks up a Barbie doll and whack it out of his hand.
Yeah,
No,
like-
but I'm also not sitting here and saying he picks up a Barbie doll, give him hormone blockers now. Like, no.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
crazy.
To me, that's just crazy. Like, don't you remember being a kid and just want to experiment a bunch of things? Like, I want to be a ballerina today, or I want to be a wrestler,
Astronaut.
or you know what I
Astronaut.
mean?
But
Like,
then when you go out, you find how much work an astronaut takes. You're like, yeah, maybe I don't want to be an
Maybe not.
astronaut. Maybe not.
when you realize how much like bodybuilding it takes to wrestle, and I used to
Well,
love to
good.
wrestle
I mean,
around all the time.
and
I
sometimes-
was a big tomboy.
And sometimes when you're young, you just think you want to do stuff, but then you realize I don't want to do it. It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's way
Even
too
now,
young.
like,
to be.
how many times throughout our 20s up until have we had career changes or fashion changes?
Or how many
if I
times-
go through my photos with you from when I was in middle school to now, all my different things from gothic to sporty to like almost whorish outfits to now my normal.
And how many times in college where like kids change their majors? Not kids,
Yeah.
but like young adults change their majors. You know, because even at 20 years old, you don't really know what you want in life.
Exactly.
So I think it's
how
like-
do you expect us to know who we are
At
inside
5,
at
6,
5?
7, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, man, that's all we got for today.
Goodbye now.
Go away now. No, I think it's go away now.
Wrap me up.
What's the the channel?
Oh, I forgot.
The drinking something.
When he reviews
Yeah.
shows and stuff like that.
I feel like I know the channel. but-
That's what you reminded me.
yeah, go away now. All right, guys. Like
Comment
and subscribe.
Bye bye.
See you next time.